Do you ever feel like manifestation is just another thing on your to-do list that you don't have time for? Like your spiritual practice is something that you have to do? Honestly, you're not alone because I felt that way too. Something that's really changed my relationship with manifestation is blending it into my lifestyle so that no matter what I'm doing, I'm also manifesting. I call this manifestation as a lifestyle, and it's single handedly made the entire manifestation journey more enjoyable for me. And I've seen my desires show up with a lot more ease. Manifesting as a lifestyle has made manifestation go from feeling like a task to something I just naturally do because it's who I am. If you'd like to learn more about this, I've created a step by step guide for you. I'll link it in my show notes so you can check it out.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Affirmation Addict podcast. Today, I am diving deep into change, and I really wanted to help you understand what change actually indicates. And I have some affirmations for you to help navigate through any changes that you're going through during this time and during this season of life. So I really hope this episode supports you and enjoy. You're listening to the Affirmation Addict podcast with Payal Agarwal. This podcast will teach you about the power of affirmations while making manifestation easy and accessible for you in order to enhance your spiritual consciousness. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm so excited to dive into today's episode. Actually, wait, before we get started, I wanted to check with you. Have you heard about my new app? It's called Affirm and it's your one-stop shop for all things affirmations, manifestation, and self-healing. I really have been wanting to create something for you that truly empowers you to realize that you genuinely have everything you need within you. You don't need me. You don't need any other coaches. This app genuinely has everything you need to get that life that you've been trying to manifest. And it has gentle daily reminders, guided audio affirmations, sleep affirmations, affirmation reminders, and so much more good information, good energy, and so many things that I know will help you manifest your dreams. Because I'm so grateful for you, I'm actually offering you a free 7-day trial. And this is a genuine 7-day trial. That means you don't have to type in your credit card. You won't be automatically charged. There's no ads, and you get complete access to the app as if you've already subscribed to it. So if you do want to learn more about the app, head over to affirmation-addict.com/app, or if you're ready to dive in, head over to the iTunes App Store and search for Affirm It. The Android version will be coming soon, and as soon as it's ready, I'll be sure to let you know. Now we can officially dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode on change. I think a lot of us are experiencing so many changes in our world, but we're not really sure how to handle it, how to navigate it, and what to even do with it because it's so unfamiliar. If you heard my episode last week, I really talked about what's going on in the world and how to navigate it, but this week I want to focus on why change is so beautiful and so empowering because I think so many of us are scared by change, and I think so many of us are just not sure what to do with change. And I want to explain why, because you're not crazy, you're not doing anything wrong. It's so natural for us to be confused when change happens. So, a little quantum physics lesson and a little neuroscience lesson for you guys. When your mind and brain and body are working together, living your day-to-day life, so much of what we're doing is living through our automatic nervous system. And so what that means is you are living automatically, such as the things that you're doing that you're not controlling, right? So that is like your breathing, your speaking, your hearing. A lot of those things just come automatically. And even like your motor skills, like moving your fingers, walking, brushing your teeth, you're not thinking about how to do those things. And so once you think about your day-to-day, how much of your day-to-day is pretty routine? How many of those habits and actions are routine? A lot of that, your brain is a super efficient model, right? So your brain is constantly trying to save energy for new things by relearning and basically habitualizing. I don't even know if that's a word. Basically creating a habit out of the things you do frequently, so you don't have to really think about it. They just come naturally to you without using any brain power. So this is why when change happens, we have no idea what to do. Our brains kind of freak out and panic because it's like, uh-oh, I need to learn something new, or what's this that's happening differently? And it challenges you and stimulates you in a different way. So some of us can consider this as a bad thing, right? It's annoying, our brains are fighting it, you're struggling. So that's kind of our ego talking. But the other flip side of it is that's a beautiful sign of growth. That is full on evidence that you are changing, growing, and transforming. And how cool is that? So it's a really beautiful way to think about change as growth rather than change as discomfort. And if it is discomfort, why can't you be comfortable being uncomfortable? Because if you think about it, change is something that is so inevitable in our universe, in our natural world, that once we become friends with change rather than enemies, I think so much becomes easier and just more attainable and accessible because we're not in that resistance mode. When you start to accept change and welcome change with open arms and just be open to change, I think so many things in our life become just easier by default. And then things start to flow. You're not as affected by different changes going on, and you are in a much more aligned state of being so much more often, rather than if you're someone who is really reactive to change and any small change just triggers you and puts you in a spiral. You can work to change that and make changes and discomfort and new things part of your normal. You can make change your normal. And it's a really cool way to think about change rather than neglecting it, resisting it, and just not enjoying it, because to be super honest with you, change is something that is so inevitable in our life. And another thing I want to talk about with change is, what if when you're changing, it's your body and your mind telling you that you are manifesting. You are stepping into a new version of you. Because think about it this way. If you were the same as you were 5 years ago, your life would be what? The same and boring? If you stayed in the same routine and just did everything, you'd be like a robot and there would be nothing for you to look forward to. Our minds and our bodies thrive off of new experiences, and that's why change is so heavily part of our life. So I want you to think about, when you resist change, just ask yourself, am I resisting this because I really don't agree with it? Or is it just a habit that my ego doesn't like change? Because our egos thrive off of routine. They thrive off of logic. They thrive off of predictability. They thrive off of superiority. And so when something changes and your environment changes, your ego feels vulnerable. It doesn't feel completely confident because it's something that your ego doesn't know very well. So this is a really, really big picture version as to why change generally frustrates a lot of us or triggers a lot of us. But if you dive into what change actually means, it's so cool. It's literally physical proof that you're manifesting and becoming a new version of yourself. And it's beautiful. So I hope this little explanation gave you a little more inspiration to become friends with change rather than keep change and new things as your enemy. Let change become a really good friend. Let change become something that you love rather than something that you hate. And one last thing I want to mention is you are always, always, always in control of your reaction. You might not be in control of what's going on around you. You might not be able to change the circumstances you're in, but the one thing you do have control over is your reactions. So a tip for when you're dealing with change and new things is just be mindful of the way you're reacting to it. Are you reacting sporadically and automatically, like I told you earlier, or are you reacting by thinking through it and just taking a second to think before you speak and be mindful about, hey, is this actually how I want to react to this? So I really invite you and encourage you to, before you freak out about change, just ask yourself, Is this change okay with me? Am I ready for a change? And even if the answer is no, your reaction can be a much more calm and collected no rather than a sporadic, resistant, and freaked out no, which would probably take you into a downward vibrational spiral. So, to keep your vibration level and close to where you want to be, I recommend watching and being mindful and trying to play around with your reactions. And this isn't something that should be hard. It's just something to take a step back and think. It's to take that pause, to take that sacred pause. And as soon as something happens to you, instead of just firing back, can you take a second and then fire back? Just take a second and say, do I really want to fire back? Okay, then go for it. As long as you can just integrate that mindfulness and that pause before you just react without thinking, think before you react, and then you can really construct your reactions to benefit you and whatever situation you're going through. And so I know this is a really quick one. I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight as to how to navigate, how to deal with change, because change is actually such a beautiful thing. And it's such a misconception that change is bad, hard, and scary. That's just our egos, guys. Our higher selves love change. They know how to thrive, and change sparks creativity. Change literally gets your creative mind, your higher self, your feminine energy flowing and moving and activated. It literally makes all of your chakras vibrate so high. Change is one of the best medicines for your body. Doing new things, creating new memories, creating new experiences, creating new emotions and reactions. When you do new things, your body learns new ways to react. So many people ask, hey, how do I reprogram my mind? This is one of the first steps, is being okay with change, being ready to pause before you react. You're going to start creating new automatic habits for your mind. And those automatic habits will be 5 times more beneficial, 5 times more positive, 5 times more high vibrational for you, and it'll just keep going up from there. So this is truly one of the first phases of reprogramming and rewiring your mind, is becoming lovely best friends with change. And I know it might not be what you want to hear. I get it, but I really recommend you try it. Let that ego quiet down. Try it with me, and I have some affirmations to help you. So I have 10 affirmations, and I'm going to repeat them, and I'll repeat them twice just so you can hear them once and then write them down the second time. So I really recommend grabbing a paper, even grabbing your phone if you need to, and jotting down these affirmations if change is something that you really struggle with. And if you want, for this first round, feel free to repeat after me, whether it's mentally or out loud. Just join me, and I'll give you a little bit of time to repeat after me. I am allowed to be comfortable with change. I navigate through the unknown with ease. I trust that I'm safe. I know everything is always working out for my higher good. Change means that I'm manifesting something better. I feel empowered and inspired by change. I am looking forward to the unexpected miracles that come out of this. I release fear of the unknown and the unplanned. I acknowledge my ability to get through this with ease. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, so that was round 1, and now I invite you to write these down, just listen to them again, and just soak them in. I am allowed to be comfortable with change. I navigate through the unknown with ease. I trust that I'm safe. I know everything is always working out for my higher good. Change means that I'm manifesting something better. I feel empowered and inspired by change. I am looking forward to the unexpected miracles that come out of this. I release fear of the unknown and the unplanned. I acknowledge my ability to get through this with ease. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, loves, that was a little bit of an affirmation session. Whether you repeated them twice, wrote them all down, these affirmations are for you. And I really, really hope that they can serve you during these times of change. And I hope they can help you rebuild your relationship with change, because change is actually so beautiful. And I really, really want this for you. So if you have any questions, as always, please let me know. Leave me your feedback in the review section. I'm always listening to you all. So I love you. I'm here for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye. So, how did you like today's episode? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed recording it. And before you leave, I wanted to just say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for spending some time with me. If this episode or any of my content has ever inspired you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could leave a review in the iTunes podcast app and just share this with someone you care about. The more you guys leave reviews and share this with people, the more I am able to create more content for you, and that's what fuels me and keeps me going. I am so genuinely grateful for the time we shared today, and until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and lots of healing energy. Bye!